Welcome to the First and Inches podcast, where every play counts and every take hits hard. Right. David is repping the dynasty that is the Kansas City Chiefs. George bleeds black and gold for Steeler Nation, and AP is still waiting on the Vikings to show up in February. We're breaking down the biggest stories in football, baseball, and anything in between. We're calling it like we see it, and no fan base is safe. Touchdown! This is the First and Inches podcast.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of First and Inches podcast. I am Jorge.
I am Hooks.
I'm AP. What up? What up?
What's going on, guys? Kind of a short week. We had a lot going on, though, so we got a lot to talk about. I'm really excited, especially about the chump of the week part. Can't wait. Well, let's get rolling, man. It was a busy week of watching the AL East leading Blue Jays play. I'm going to be missing. Well, no, I'll be going to the game tonight and tomorrow, so I'll be watching the whole series. That'll be fun. My goal is for the Yankees to just not win the division. So looking forward to that. Well, let's talk about what we see on the standings right now with only a few weeks left on the MLB season. What do you see?
So starting out on the East, the Phillies, obviously with a 12.5 game lead, have clinched, almost home field throughout. Has done a really good job against the Dodgers and the Mets over the last couple series. The Brewers 4.5 games up. Dodgers are 2 up with 11 games to go.
I'll say this, going back to the Brewers, they seem it's a lot like the Indians in the American League. They kind of make a lot of stuff work with. It's kind of the sum of the whole of the parts type deal, right? Because individually they don't have a lot of bangers in there. It'd be interesting this year how the Brewers go through the playoffs. They've got 92 wins, which is crazy when you think about it, because I guarantee most of the people listening or even us in here couldn't probably name 10 players on the Brewers. So it'd be interesting how the postseason plays out, if they can kind of get over their recent struggles and see if they can make a nice deep run. Because if there's any team, I'll say this, if there's any team that's built deep, it is the Brewers. Again, not a lot of bangers, but a lot of above average guys that are making it work. So I think that they're going to make a nice run to the championship series.
Does MLB want them to make it to the World Series?
Oh, no, hell no. No, because it goes to what I just said. I don't think there's enough players. Christian Yelich, remember how he had those back-to-back years where he was like best player in baseball. He was hitting like Barry Bonds, and then he broke his kneecap. And then
roids.
Nothing. We never saw. He's come back in glimpses, but not like he's not hitting dongs like he was.
So, hey, what about the Dodgers yesterday? I did not realize that until this afternoon that Ohtani went 5 innings, no hit pitch, no hit ball. Roberts went and asked him, how's he feel? And he said, I feel great. And of course they decided, hey, let's go ahead and put a relief pitcher in who gave up 5 runs before getting 2 outs. And then Ohtani comes back and hits a home run to tie up the game for his 50th.
The guy's ridiculous. The guy's absolutely ridiculous. And I read an article today that it got brought up. It won't happen. I highly doubt it happened. But about him playing in the outfield, he said he's down. Of course he's going to say he's down. He's not going to say anything otherwise. But, man, it would have to be Game 7 of the World Series type deal before I would ever put him out in the field, because he's such an extreme guy that any ball hit to the gap, he's going full extension. And next thing you know, he could tear a labrum. Then he's toast. I don't put him in that situation again unless it's Game 7 of the World Series.
What's the deal, though? Is he on a pitch count? I don't understand.
Yeah, I don't know, like, the architecture. Why you would be in the outfield? Oh, I don't know.
No. Why they took him out after 5?
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
That's as far as he's gone.
But is that going to continue in the playoffs? He's going to give you 4 innings, 5 innings. That's it. 60 pitches. I mean, is that going to be detrimental to the Dodgers and their bullpen if they were to use Ohtani every series in the postseason? I mean, that could get your bullpen tired if they're going to have to work extra innings, knowing that he's in there for 4 innings a game. Although Roberts, likes to have a bullpen game anyway in the playoffs, so
well, I mean,
that might just work out.
Yeah, I mean that's where those are the fringes, those edges where the playoffs were won really in that bullpen, and but I don't know. That's the guy's just ridiculous, and it's such a pleasure to be able to see that we're watching it, in real time, and he's sustaining it, which is what is truly amazing. Because I was a big critic. I didn't think that was anything sustainable. That level of production and consistently day in and day out. I mean, Ora, you speak to it better than any of us. The value he brings just in attendance alone is probably, I don't know what 2 years that contract's probably paid for itself. Because I mean, there's other things tied than actual tangible people's butts in the seats. So you're talking about network deals and merchandise. I mean, the guy's crazy.
Every time I went to Angel Stadium when he was there, people would go and buy everything that said Ohtani on it. You would see people come out with like 5 jerseys, 3 of this, 2 of that, like tons of stuff and merchandise they would just buy for this guy. And that was when he didn't even play because he was hurt. They still show up to the game and buy all this merchandise. So yeah, absolutely. Now, what do we see about the rest of the playoff field? Really, in my opinion, the Diamondbacks are the only ones that have a shot. I think your Reds are kind of like keep shooting themselves in the foot. Yeah. I don't know if they have enough time to catch up to the last wild card spot. What do you think is going to end up shaking out?
So hold on. We've got 11 games still left, counting today. No days off for the rest of the season.
Nice.
The Reds are 2.5 back, have a 4.5% chance to make the playoffs, and Arizona is a 1.5 back, has a 10% chance. But I'm telling you guys, even from the last time we had a call, or last time we did a show, I mean, those percentages they are very, very flexible. I mean, win 2 games, lose 2 games, and that number can change really quick.
Right.
Well, yeah, the Reds are going to have to leapfrog. I think it's the Giants that are ahead of them to catch the
Giants are behind them now.
Oh, okay. Well, still, they're 2.5 because they won today, so they've got 10 games left. A lot has to go right for them. So they're not mathematically eliminated, but it would take a 1995 Seattle Mariners pennant run condensed down to 1.5 weeks kind of deal, for them to come back. It'd be a miracle, but no, I'd say, the Cubs, right? The Cubs are obviously going to be, up there. The Phillies, as you talked about, the Dodgers, and then, these are teams that I think are going to make the run, and the Brewers. So if you're asking like how the playoff field looks, I think it's going to be a Brewers Dodgers pennant. That's how I see it again. And, the Dodgers, the Brewers, because with the Dodgers, they're so deep as well, but man, it just seems like they're just injury or, I don't know. It's hard to say against the Dodgers, but being contrarian, I'm going to say the Brewers.
I'm hoping the Mets are sandbagging W's so that when we play the Dodgers here in the first series, we can come out finally victorious. Does it even make it to New York? Is it 3 games, that first series? I don't even remember now.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So 2-1?
Yeah, I think that's, yes, I think so.
So we can wrap it up at home. Perfect.
Right. Yeah.
So the Cubs just clinched today. Padres are at 99%, Mets at 85%. So
I don't get that. Just coming off of like an 8-game losing streak, how do you have so much hope for or confidence that the Mets are not going to do another 8-game losing streak? I mean, the way they've been playing is terrible. I don't know how Cincinnati chose to be so bad at the same time that the Mets were. That's terrible. That's unfortunate for you.
Right. No, it's a good point. I think with the Mets too, what they're up against is the strength of their schedule. They got a pretty tough last what, three teams that they're going to be playing against. So that's something to take into consideration. Um, but yeah, you're right. The Reds had every opportunity, and you go through that box score or you look at those season stats, and there's just guys who's just not hitting the ball. That's all there is to it. Their pitching
So,
is top
do
of the
you see
league.
changes right now, David? Do you see anything changing? And who is going to actually make it in, aside from your percentages? Do you think somebody will leap the
Well,
Mets?
like Adam said, I think it's a deal where somebody's just going to have to win their last 10 games, 11 games, and if Arizona wins their last 10 games and the Mets lose 2, then they're in. But I mean, it's not going to be. You're not going to finish the season
Well,
6-4 and get in. You're gonna have to go 8-2, 9-1, and hope that the Mets, because I mean the Padres and Cubs are 4 games clear of both of those teams, so it's or of the Mets. So
Well, I'll say this though, for the Giants, and the reason why I kind of would identify them as the team, like to think, kind of throwing it out there. If they can get past this series with the Dodgers, they're only playing the Cardinals, who I hate that team. They suck.
they just
And the
kick the shit
Rockies.
out of your Reds. It's
Oh,
killing me.
bullshit. Fuck that. They just won. The Reds won. Fucking
Well,
Cardinals.
last night they didn't.
But they won the series. That's all
Okay.
I care about. I
Okay.
don't care. Anyway,
Well,
we're done with
Giants
it.
Hey, what about our
um,
boy Travis? I hadn't heard anything from him about baseball since the since the Cardinals. Let's give a shout out to Travis Cunningham.
Oh,
Your Cardinals are going to finish behind the Reds this year.
where they belong.
Yeah.
That's
All
awesome.
right. So going to the AL real quick. Toronto 5-game lead. Tigers is actually down to 5.5. Last week they were 8.5. Mariners, Trastros, half a game apart.
Mm-hmm.
So, what's your take on those guys?
I'll let you go, Jorge.
I think the Astros are going to take over. The Mariners are going to be with a 2 or so game lead on the final spot anyway of the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So they're worried. They're worried about the Guardians, and I think the Rangers are done, 3.5 out now. But so Cleveland's the only one they got to worry about. But I think the Astros are going to take over for the division, and I'm hoping to see the Tigers and the Blue Jays in the pennant.
Nice. Yeah, that would be different, and that would not be what baseball would want. The Blue Jays are just magnet. The Blue Jays kind of feel like that team that kicks ass all year, but when they're going to fall flat the first round. That just seems like one of their teams. I don't want that. I'm with you, Jorge. I'd like to see them as well. But I always feel like when I see those kind of teams that haven't done it, hasn't sustained that success, that's sort of the trajectory that they go deep into the playoffs, or not deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
But I would love to see the Blue Jays. Big fan, a couple guys on there.
It's almost like you got to been there, done that type of thing.
Yeah.
I think you got to lose before you got to walk before you crawl before you walk.
Yeah, the Mariners are a little bit different, right? Because they're of recently what they've done. But again, I said it last time we were here. I talked about that pitching, and you can pull some of that starting pitching into the bullpen. So if you're asking like maybe a pennant run, I'd maybe see Mariners and Yankees, although those aren't the teams that I want. But so Mariners, Yankees, that's what I think is going to the pennant this year.
All right.
MLB
Anybody
got
but
what
the
they wanted
Trastros.
last year with the Yankees and Dodgers, and
Yeah.
I think I can say for the whole nation, we don't want to see that crap again.
Oh, nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
Everybody wants to see Ohtani in the World Series again. So Jorge, tell us about the collection of balls and bats that you have behind your head.
Well, as you know, I haven't bought a single thing. So everything that I have here signed, I have gotten signed directly from the player. Somebody asked me how much I spent on balls, and if you could see that whole bunch of balls, I didn't buy any of those. People are like, "Why are you always trying to get balls when you go to the stadium?" Yeah, because I don't have to buy them if I get them at the stadium. I got 2 last night, And that way I can get them signed without spending $30 on a ball. But you know what? You mentioned this, so I'm going to show you something. I got a spreadsheet made up of my inventory of memorabilia. So I'm going to show you. Let me see.
All right.
Boom. All right.
Nice. That is nice.
I have put a few things on here just to give me an idea of what I got, whether the player's Puerto Rican or not. I've rated them from A to C, and then somebody made a special appearance with a D in there. But
Yeah,
this
where
shows you
is he?
kind of
Let's can you scroll down to your favorite player?
he's not who's that?
Bar from
There's
number
no
14.
search Javi Baez, no entries found.
Yeah.
As far as jerseys, so I'm up to 5 jerseys now with Lindor, Beltran, Berrios, and then I got 2 NBA jerseys, and then I have 2 signed cards, one by Mr. Met. That was I kind of like that card, and then I got my a few bats. Let me see. Let me sort it by bats. Show you what are the other bats I have. So there we go. Bats. I got Yandy Diaz, Luke Raley, client, Harold Ramirez, a former client, and Mike Sweeney. Mike Sweeney's son plays for Detroit. I'm trying to get him to sign a bat as well so I can have the whole family there. But one thing I wanted to show you.
Hold on. Where's McClain?
Who?
Where's Matt McClain? I was with
he's
you
in here. If I rated him, and he should be in the B's.
There he is. Yeah, he's the B right there. Here it is.
I thought you were done when you scrolled down. All right. Cool.
No. So I have a total of, I believe, 80. But look who received a D rating. Jose Siri, because he's just a punk, and Wander Franco, because why not?
He just got busted. I mean, he got busted before, but I think they just arrested him, right?
For something else. Yeah, I don't even know what it is. So a total of 79 autographed items. So I'd say that's pretty cool.
So
and
hey,
you know what?
so the one question. Okay, so the one thing that I love to tell people is, okay, you don't get it with what color of pen do you need a signature with for it to be worth top dollar?
Well, so I hear you want it to be blue pen, and you want it to be signed on the sweet spot. I, however, don't care. I never plan on selling these. I just want it for my personal collection. And I kind of like, I don't know, I started getting them signed in Sharpie, and I kind of liked it. So I just kept doing that. I have a few pen ones just by accident, but most of them are signed by Sharpie. So, but yeah, if you want it to be worth something or worth more, you want it signed by pen on the sweet spot.
Yeah, I feel like it's really cool that you're like, hey, sign it wherever. Yeah. I'm not worried. I'm not selling this thing. So, hey, tell us about the Kershaw one before we go on to football.
Yeah, so I told Kershaw, I was like, hey, sign it. It's for my personal collection. He asked me, he's like, where do you want me to sign? I was like, anywhere. It's for my personal collection. And he signed it with his, wait, what was that number? Let me find it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So he signed it with a special number. I think it was 86. And when he signs it using that, it increases the value of the autograph. If I were to get this authenticated, which I can, I have video of it happening. I don't know if I show you the video from the game. He was holding the ball that he threw to me during the game, and then when it went the camera went away from him, and then he threw me the ball. Next thing you know, I got the video of that, so I could get it authenticated with his special insignia on there, and it probably would be worth money, but I never want to know what these are worth, because to me, it's just the experience, of getting that. I'll tell you though, one of my favorite balls, as you can see, all the A ratings were on there, is the Savannah Banana balls. If you haven't been to a Savannah Banana game,
yellow.
Yep, it's yellow ball. And if you go before the game, all the players will sign it. So I want to give a special shout out, Fan First Entertainment, Jesse Cole, thank you. Vince, the umpire, Dakota, you got Matt Wolf, Mike Vivazis. I mean, great guys. If you haven't been to a Savannah Banana, try and find a way to get to one of those on their world tour next year. They're pretty entertaining and really competitive. They think it's like fake baseball. It's not fake baseball at all. And a lot of these guys, we have a guy, that plays for the Bananas. I used to play in my amateur league, and he's a great player. Don't get me wrong. And then some of these guys, great college players, is really competitive. So I encourage all of you to go.
And they bring in former ball players, like Major League ball players, right? Because I saw Sean Casey there the other day.
It's great entertainment. They bring legends every park they go. So it's always great for the fans because you're there to see bananas. And next thing you know, you see a legend from your team.
Right.
So it's pretty cool.
Very cool product. Real quick, before we get away from it, of the signatures, jerseys, and everything you've got signed, is there one that stood out that was a little bit different in terms of how you got it, more so than your standard? Because for those listening, maybe about your approach on how you do it, because it is kind of an uncomfortable, at least for me, it'd be uncomfortable to ask until I got into that, moxie about myself. But one that stands out that's a little bit different from the rest.
Matt McClain, when we took his food from his table and told him either sign or we don't give you your food back. That was funny.
Yeah.
But I'd say this. I'll tell you this. This is the coolest one in my opinion. Yadier Molina signed a ball his rookie season when he wasn't wearing number 4 yet. He was wearing number 41 for the Cardinals. And it was during a exhibition game where they were playing the Baltimore Orioles, and Sammy Sosa was in the Baltimore Orioles that year. So Sammy Sosa struck out. Yandy came to the dugout, gave me the ball, and then signed it after the game. So I have a ball signed by Yadier Molina. I say Yandy, I mean Yadier Molina. So I got a ball signed by Yadier Molina with his number 41 rookie season number that Sammy Sosa struck out to. So that's pretty cool.
It was
awesome.
him, Benji Molina. What was the third brother? Benji? Jose Molina. That's right. Good job.
Yeah, I mean, we produce a lot of catchers out of our neighborhood in Puerto Rico. So it's and the Molinas are the top dogs.
So, all right. So let's go. Great conversation on baseball. We got a little shorter time on football this week, but so I have the 2 upsets of the week. They are literally the biggest upsets of the week. I'm going to go ahead and let you know who they are. The Falcons beating the Vikes. The Vikings were favored by 3.5 when the game went off, and the Falcons won 22-6. And then the Steelers losing to the Seahawks were favored by 3.5, end up losing by 14. So just to give you guys an idea, big upsets last week.
Thanks.
Chiefs had the first week.
Well, to be fair, the Vikings, 50% of their team is on either concussed or have some weird injury. So not making excuses, but that's the reality of it. They're rolling out Carson Wentz, which I really think that Max Brosmer, if everything I've read and heard and what little I've seen, he made Brock Purdy J.J. McCarthy. People are real big on this guy. Max Brosmer was a undrafted free agent, though, not most irrelevant man.
Okay, so like I know that I've sent this stuff to you. Do you think that McCarthy got the soft bench? Like he's just not ready?
No.
You really think he's injured?
No. Yes, I really do. I think there is so much that I get whatever they want to say to kind of protect that image of his. No, not at all. I don't think that. I mean, if you look at it from the outside, from an average fan or from, just observing, it does seem like 7 of the 8 quarters are below average. But if you look through the history, I'm not concerned with how he was starting. My main concern about it are the injuries because they don't have the depth, and their offensive line is absolutely collapsed. So I think a lot of that is on McCarthy. I mean, not on McCarthy too. They're $104 million guy, Christian Darrisaw, still out from tearing both AC and MCL. So he should be back this week, hopefully. But no, I don't think it's soft benching.
Hey, asking for a friend. Is week 2 too early to start making excuses? Just wondering.
Well, it sounds
I don't know what the excuse of the Steelers can be.
Yeah.
So there's actually rumors of that O'Connell was going to bench him in the third quarter, and Jefferson was like, "No, hey, dude, that's going to hurt his psyche if you do that."
Yeah, I agree. I don't think KOC was going to call that. I think KOC's, I think that's one of his greatest assets. What he's done with these teams since 2022, and he's had a carousel of quarterbacks. That second year in 2023. So no, I don't think it was anything like that. I just think it's just bad luck, and hopefully that they get these injuries out of the way. And they're setting up pretty good with the Burrowless Bengals. And they've got Carson Wentz coming in, and I think he's a quick study, so we'll see. Watch him come out and throw 400 yards and a couple of touchdowns. So I'm
Are you making any changes to your win prediction for the year after game 2?
No, because I do not know if the JJ McCarthy thing is going to be long term. They're still pretty timid about what they're saying. It's not a short time IR thing. So I think how he responds this second week, on coming around, then I'll make alterations on something like that. But I'm still sticking with 11 wins.
I'm sticking to my number, 8 wins.
Yeah,
for the Steelers.
So I'm sticking with my 11. I didn't think we were going to come out and win 14, 15 games again. So players of the week right now for week 2 were these are player of the weeks. Jonathan Taylor, 25 carries, 165 yards, 215 total yards, couple touchdowns. It's a player of the week.
What about Brandon Aubrey?
Oh, he was the special teams player of the week. Dude, how far was that one?
I think it was 64, but he could have got it from 70. Did you see that? I mean, it was impressive.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this, but their practice field in Frisco, the uprights are not as wide as they are regulation. They're actually much closer. So there's less space. So the way he practices day in, day out is with less space to get a field goal.
Cool idea.
And so I think that does help him. And I've seen him out there getting those things through from 60, 70 yards. So the dude, former soccer player, I don't know if that's necessarily what it takes to be successful as a kicker, because there's plenty of soccer players that probably couldn't make it. But I think that dude is just very committed and focused on improving his skill and being what he thinks is going to be the best kicker out there, the way that he practices. So I'm impressed by that.
Yeah, he's
but what happens. I mean, you just miss one, and sometimes it gets in your head, and sometimes it doesn't. And
I know, and they got to keep going. They got to quit going to the well. You can't continue to kill drives at the 40 or the 50-yard line, and think that he's going to make them all. Like, that's not fair to him. So the Cowboys got to get it together. What's his name? Helped them this week as opposed to week 1. Luckily, CeeDee Lamb didn't drop 4 passes again, so that was good. And I think that Dak is playing pretty good so far this year.
Yeah.
Not making a lot of mistakes and looking downfield more than he did, a year ago. So in my opinion, if he can remain protected and have some time, I mean, they could do some good things, Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, wouldn't that be something though? Start talking about the Cowboys and being an actual perennial, and then maybe making a team, becoming America's team like they were notoriously known for.
Did y'all watch that documentary yet on Netflix?
No, I have not. Is it pretty good?
It's pretty. I mean, it's pretty informative. I liked it, and there's a lot of things that I didn't know. I mean, I don't know if you knew this, but Jerry Jones can be. I mean, he's responsible for a lot of things that have happened in the NFL. The way that the NFL makes money now, they have Jerry Jones to thank for that.
Yeah. Because
the way that it used to be with endorsement deals that are owned by the league, not the teams, how the league markets, not the teams. Jerry Jones changed all that, in my opinion. And the documentary will tell you a lot about it. I was pretty impressed.
That's interesting. That's good to hear, because I know people like to hate on him just because people just want to hate. They don't want to talk about the good things, that
if it wasn't for Jerry Jones, the NFL could be fighting with the WNBA right now for ratings.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? That's nuts to say it out loud. But no one will give him the credit. He's an easy man to hate, in terms of the optics, how the media paints it, So.
Yep. All right. So the NFC player of the week is Jared Goff.
Jared Goff.
5 touchdowns.
Jared Goff.
82% completion percentage.
Wow.
Just smoked.
Yeah.
The Bears.
Didn't he have a 100% completion game last year?
hold on, isn't that the same team that the Vikings played the week before?
Holy fuck. Let me tell you, I'll give Jared Goff kudos here. He's doing it without Ben Johnson. And now you're wondering, is Ben Johnson the guy? Because he's in Chicago with Caleb Williams, and they look like complete garbage. And he was supposed to be the offensive genius with all his schemes and runs and, packages. And that's completely fallen apart on him. And Goff is still, piss missile after piss missile. Maybe Ben Johnson, maybe it is the Dan Campbell show.
I'm going to be real quick about the Chiefs. Obviously, they lost 21-17. I love the Chiefs. I could talk for the next 20 minutes about them. Hopefully, Worthy's back and can benefit the team this week. That drop by Kelsey in the end zone that they ran back was just devastating. They really, really got to get some running back help. Pacheco's got to be there, or they got to figure something else out. And then the last thing I got, because I didn't want to start with complaining, but that tush push is so illegal in so many different ways. And I don't care what you guys think. Ball starts, offsides, it's trash.
Yeah, in many ways. I mean, I think it's not being looked at properly by different umpiring crews. So referee crews they all kind of look at it a different way. It's not consistent, and I think that. But you know what? It ain't cheating until you get caught, and if you don't like the rule, change the rule, right? So
just develop a plan around it. Yeah, I don't think they're going to change it. I know what you mean, Hooks. I mean, if it was being done to the Vikes, I would be saying the same thing. But I don't. Yeah. They're just going to have to, because then they're going to say, well, the Chiefs aren't, champs. You know what I mean? Unless they can adjust, like the shift, right?
Well, no. So, my deal's not that I don't care about banning the tush push, but dude, that multiple times you can see the guards starting before the ball's been snapped.
Sure, right.
But you see it both ways too, and it's 1 yard, 1 or 2 yards, and you see the defense starting early, and sometimes that doesn't get called either. So,
all right, who wants to go after their team next? Y'all both have some good stuff to talk about this week.
Well, I'll let you start off, Jorge.
Who do we even play? Who does the Steelers play this week?
No, I'm talking about week 2. We need to talk about week 2. See how.
I forgot about week 2 already. That has been wiped from my memory.
Well, I'll just say this. It was an unfortunate showing. Reminded me, they just had a couple field goals. Reminded me of a couple of games last year and the year prior. I don't think it's anything. I don't feel like it's any, a lot went wrong. They, Aaron Jones is now out. They lost offensive guard, lineman again, School. He's the backup to Darrisaw. So they're moving a guard over to left tackle. That's the blind side. There's a lot that was going on. I think it was just a bad game. It was just a bad, I'm not freaking out over this. I think that the way the system's set up is that Carson Wentz is going to come in there and do really, really well. I think going back to the KOC, the soft bench, I don't think that's him. I think he's such a cerebral type coach. He is better than Ben Johnson in terms of like being that offensive dynamo. Plus, their defense is, what the Harrison Smith's supposed to come back. They need help in that secondary. I think they win next week here against the Bengals. And then we'll see how JJ McCarthy his ankle. It's a high ankle sprain. So those are a little bit more cumbersome than the lower ankle sprains, how I understand it.
Yeah. 2-6.
For the Steelers, I don't think that one play lost us the game, but I think one play deflated us big time, right? And that has an effect on what happens for the rest of the game, because we were close. At that point, we're one possession away. We know what play we're talking about, right? So I think that we need to keep the mistakes to a minimum next week, not rely so much on, we need to get long drives, not just short drives and try and get balls forth to kick some field goals. We can't win 3 points at a time, as the Steelers are trying to do. Week 1 was a fluke. I don't think that Rodgers is going to have an opportunity to throw for 4 touchdowns again anytime soon. Our defense can step it up a little bit more. I think that we were expecting more and better things from the defense. Week one came down to the wire on defense. Week two was kind of inconsistent. So as long as these guys start playing to their salary on defense, we might be able to be in some games. But I still 8 wins.
Yeah.
Hooks.
Yeah, that's the run defense for the Steelers is a little bit surprising. But like I told you guys last week, those were both trap games. I mean, there's a reason why that spread didn't go up. All the money was being bet on the Steelers, and Vegas knows. I mean, I don't think Vegas is cheating. They just have they got they got it down. So
and
last off, let's
teams are
talk
preparing
about
for TJ Watt. So they're preparing for TJ Watt, and then we got Hayward getting old in the middle. So yeah, that's gonna keep happening.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. So let's talk about the chump of the week. You decided to start that last week, Jorge. Can you give us the chump of the week?
What's his name?
Caleb Johnson.
Caleb Johnson. Hopefully another future Chief. I don't know. I don't know if he's just not aware of the rule, not aware of what he's thinking about, but how do you do that? How do you, even if there's a chance that somebody might perceive you touched that ball, you can't just let it go and then do nothing about it. That was a big mental mistake. I don't know what the Steelers are going to do about it. Is he not going to return punts anymore? We'll see what happens, but that's terrible. That was one of the reasons I think we may have lost that game.
So I have him in one of my fantasy leagues and actually one of my dynasty leagues, and I had real high hopes for him. But like you said, I wonder if he knew the rule on the kickoff. I mean, if that ball lands in the play and it goes into the end zone, it's live ball. Even if you touch it, don't touch it, whatever. But it makes you wonder, like, how did he not know that rule? And but it also makes you think about like the 49ers a couple of years in the Super Bowl, not knowing the rules at the end or the overtime rules. So, I'm gonna bet you that there's a lot of teams that taught their players this week in special teams saying
all teams do that. All teams do that. I guarantee you. Like, and again, I'm gonna go back to Frisco and the Cowboys facility because I'm familiar with it. Right? It's like a college campus. They have a building full of classrooms, and you go to classrooms and you have lessons and you learn the rules. Every time there's a rule change, every time there's a rule they want to exploit, they learn the rules. So if these players don't know something, it's because they weren't paying attention. But I guarantee you the teams are doing a great job at making sure that they communicate these rules to every single player, every chance they get.
I agree. My chump of the week's Mike. I'm going to go outside the box here, or non-traditional type approach. Mike McDaniel for the Dolphins, them holding a players only meeting. I think that whole vibe that he had that seemed to be like winning people over. I don't think it's working. There's a lot going on with personnel, but heavy lies the crown, right? Falls on the coach. We've talked about this in one of our very first podcasts. When you're not firing the team, you got to be representative of firing somebody, right? And I don't think it's a tough division as it is that they're in. And I don't know, man. I don't know if Mike McDaniel makes it past week 6 if they continue with the way they are, right? So that's my chump of the week. When you have a players only meeting 2 weeks in, that's no good.
No good.
If he gets fired, he's going to have another job next year. Where does he go?
Offensive coordinator somewhere.
Yeah.
But hey,
Vikings.
Somebody's got to go to take care of their kids. So let's do this another day.
Yeah, I got a coach's meeting.
I want to show you one last thing before we leave. I appreciate you guys' time. But this is the one time that I took a picture with Jared Goff. Jared Goff. Right?
Looks like Ryan.
Good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Good talking to you guys.
Appreciate you
guys.
Can
find us on your favorite podcast app, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. You can find us on our website, firstandinches.com, and our YouTube, First and Inches Podcast. Thank you so much for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Peace out, guys. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Jared Goff.